Hey, look, we're back. And where we last left off, we effectively ended the tutorial. Well, technically we have one more town of the tutorial, and then the game opens up. But we were hit with a revelation of when the Grey Wardens, Duncan, and King Kalen were fighting on the front lines. Terran Logain, the person who was supposed to send in the reinforcements after we lit the beacon on top of the tower, just said, "Fuck that, y'all bitches can die." So yeah, he then immediately took the kingdom for himself and ruled himself king. And there's already strife about it because it's like, yeah, it's real convenient that you become king right after you retreated in the battle that you were in. But what can anyone say? So now we, the literal two remaining Grey Wardens in all of Ferelden, are now tasked with raising an army to not only fight the Bites, but to deal with what Tyrion did. Now, before we continue, I want to talk about something that I personally find hilarious, even though I know a lot of people out there wouldn't find it hilarious. Racism. Okay, now I'm not saying I'm finding like the action of racism hilarious, but it's like when racism happens and it's like dealing with people who are just like fucking dinosaurs and like of the old society like that, and you just kind of just gotta shake your head and just go like, all right, you're gonna die off, I'm out of here, kind of thing. So Juneteenth, for people who don't know, which funnily enough, I actually didn't learn about Juneteenth myself until I was in my 20s, because it was just never taught in my school. Like, I always knew about slavery being abolished, obviously, but I didn't know there was an actual like date for it, even though, depending on who you ask, Juneteenth is actually not the right day, because it wasn't until multiple days later that the actual slave owners told their slaves they're free, because, slave labor, anyway. But, what's it called? Halo Infinite, in their original press of release of one of the skins for this month, on Juneteenth, mind you, ended up calling one of the skins Bonobo. Now, to be fair, it has since come out that because of the old programming language of the system they used, which was called Bonobo, that's why. And anytime they have a non-placeholder thing set up, or a placeholder thing set up and they don't add it a real name, it ends up being called Bonobo. It's just like, this is the worst possible thing that could happen to you guys. I almost feel bad for you. Almost. So yeah, that was the thing. On the bright side, now a lot of more people are going to learn about Juneteenth. So, yeah. Now you might be saying, oh, you're black, you didn't learn about Juneteenth until your 20s? Dude, I live in the South, man. We have been trying to hide how fucked up slavery was in the history books for years. Case in point, the concept of strange fruit and shit. Oh, or another really fucked up thing that I recently learned. Bane's backstory from what's it called? From Batman, where he was literally born a prisoner, and he was born into the prison life. That was a real thing that happened in the South, where people who were born, women were left into cells with men. They were raped, and when the baby was born, because men doing fucked up things in prison, it's kind of normal. But yeah, when the baby was born, they were immediately considered state property, because they were technically born on state property, but they couldn't live in prison, and then they were used and sold to fund white schools and shit. There's just so much fucked up history. But yeah, let's go play this game, where I'm gonna be dealing with racist because I'm an elf. Anyway, so fun fact, if we don't immediately come to this town and just immediately turn around and leave.
Wake up, gentlemen! More travelers to attend to. Led by an elf, of all things.
They don't look much like them others, maybe we should just let these ones pass.
Nonsense. Greetings, travelers!
Highwaymen, preying on those fleeing the Darkspawn, I suppose.
They are fools to get in our way. I say, teach them a lesson.
How is that any way to greet someone? A simple 10 silvers and you're free to move on.
You should listen to our friends. We're not refugees. Well, actually, no, you're
Indeed,
toll
for the
collectors?
upkeep of the Imperial Highway. It's a bit of a mess, isn't it?
Perhaps you should charge more
You
then.
want to pay more? Well, we'll happily accept donations.
I'm just saying it's a rough business for your
I
pittance.
could be mistaken, but that sounded threatening.
Sounded like a threat to me.
Interesting, because you seem a bit outnumbered.
Do you... It's hard to be outnumbered by common thugs.
Well, I can't say I'm pleased to hear that. We have rules, you know.
Right. We get to ransack your corpse then. Those are the rules.
You can certainly try.
Well, this is going nowhere. Let's finish this, gents.
By the way, apparently I was doing a little bit of reading on Rap Shot and aim. Apparently Rap Shot's better at low range with aim being better at higher level. Let's also change your tactics. Let's it so that you use the most powerful potion at 25%. Are you gonna use a potion? There we go. There's a delay for some reason. By the way, did you see my hound back here?
All right, we surrender. We're just trying to get by before the darkspawn get us all.
Get by, you're a criminal!
Yes, I'm a criminal. I admit it. I apologize.
I want some
Well, what
questions
did
answered.
I tell you? We aren't even from these parts.
What is that you've been doing?
Well, watching for folks fleeing from the south. Chasing from the wilds and farmholders, mostly. There aren't soldiers here anymore, so we help ourselves. We try not to hurt anyone too much.
Have you heard about any survivors from the battle?
Couple, maybe. A group of wounded ash warriors came by earlier. Got right out of their way.
What news have you heard?
Everyone's saying how the Grey Wardens betrayed the king during the Darkspawn fight. Got him and themselves killed. Tern Loghain pulled out just in time. First thing he's doing as regent is putting a bounty on Grey Wardens.
What's going on in Lothringen?
It's packed full. The band took his men north with Tern Loghain, so there's no one looking out for it except a few Templars at the Chantry. Well, I was just trying to feed my family, you know?
I'm done
Well,
asking
then
questions.
let me go!
Hand over everything you've stolen.
Yes, of course. The coins we collected are right here. Just over 100 silvers. The rest is in the chests we brought. I swear.
You'll follow my lead. I
But
could use
you're
some
joking,
soldiers.
right? I could never be a soldier.
Or you could die, your choice.
I'm not going down without a fight.
Okay. Ow. What the fuck? Don't touch me.
Your time to die!
Fam, you had two choices. Join my army or die. I don't feel bad
So you
about
can
murdering
get
you.
off my back.
Dumbass. Injury kits. Lesser.
All right, all right.
This golden locket bears within a tiny painting of a pretty brown-haired young woman. Possibly so the woman might be, but whoever owned it, the locket was kind of fond of her. Knight's notes. Fallen Templar. You found the body of Templar son by bandits. The course has been picked clean of everything, save for a note and a locket. Perhaps the locket would mean something to someone back in Lothringen. Okay.
Got it.
Well, I guess this is my money now. I need to find a merchant in this place, like, ASAP.
Well, there it is.
But yeah, you can actually
Lothering.
beam right out of Lothering and just
painting.
leave it. But if you do, you can't come back, because then the
So
Darkspawn
you
comes
have finally
and destroys
decided
it.
to rejoin us, have you? Falling on your blade in grief seemed like too much trouble, I take it.
Is my being upset so hard to understand? Have you never lost someone important to you? Just what would you do if your mother died?
Before or after I stopped laughing.
Right, very creepy. Forget I
These
asked.
two don't get along, if it's not clear. What did you want to talk about, Alistair?
His navel, I suspect. He certainly has been contemplating it for long enough.
Oh, I get it. This is the part where we're shocked to discover how you've never had a friend your entire life.
I can be friendly when I desire to. Alas, desiring to be more intelligent does not make it so.
Anyway, I thought we should talk about where we intend to go first.
We're heading to the circle. We should try and use these trees, I assume.
I agree. Have you looked at them?
Yes, I have.
There are three main groups that we have treaties for. The Dalish Elves, the Dwarves of Orzammar,
We're going
and
to the Circle of Magi first.
I also still think that Arleman is our best bet for help. We might even want to go to him first.
Then we need to find these people.
I can give you directions if you like.
Where do we find our...
He'll be at Castle Redcliffe, in the far western part of Ferelden, next to the mountain passes. If he isn't there, someone will be able to tell us where he is.
My clan has already fled north. We won't find
There
them.
must be other Dalish in Ferelden, in fact I'm sure of it. If we head eastward, towards the Brazilian forest, we should hear word of one of the clans that wanders that area. Hopefully they will still be there.
Where do you find the doors?
We would need to speak to their king in Orzammar. That means heading west into the Frostback Mountains, which won't be easy.
Where do we find the Circle of Magi?
That will be at their tower on Lake Carlenhard to the north. We'll be looking for the first enchanter, whoever that is.
Where could Loghain be
If
exactly?
he isn't out in the field with his army, he's probably going to be at the palace in Denerim. We can go to Denerim, but somehow I suspect that they're not going to let us just walk around. Only a suspicion, of course.
I need more directions.
Then you have a plan.
Is there a way to contact the Grey
Short
Wardens?
of leaving Ferelden to seek them out, the only place to send word to would be Weishaupt Fortress. And that's thousands of miles away.
Are you leaving it up to me?
Well, I don't know where we should go. I'll do whatever you decide.
Now that is unsurprising.
Arleman is a good man, but I don't know for sure he's where we should go. I'm not going to fight about it.
What do you think we should do, Morgan?
Go after your enemy directly. Find this man Loghain and kill him. The rest of this business with the treaties can then be done in safety.
Yes, he certainly wouldn't see that coming, and it's not like he has the advantage of an army and experience and...
I was asked for my opinion and I gave it. If your wish is to come up with reasons why something cannot be done, we will stand here until the Darkspawn are upon us.
I'm ready to get
Fair
going.
enough. Let's head into the village whenever you're ready.
Yeah, they will be fighting like cats and dogs until the very end. They do not like each other because they're just ideals of just what goes on are just so vastly different.
As if we needed more fighting here. Don't you see how scared everyone is?
Hey, they attacked me, fam. Or tried to rob me.
So let's talk about your mother for a moment.
I'd rather talk
This is
about
also one of the
your
hallmarks of the
mother.
Dragon Age
Well,
series.
there's nothing to talk
The party
about. And
banter.
besides, isn't your mother a scary witch who lives in the middle of a forest? Much more interesting.
To you, perhaps. You would find the moss growing upon a stone interesting.
You know what's more interesting than that? Apostates, mages outside of the tower. That's illegal, you know.
You did not read that in a book somewhere, did you? I hope the small letters did not strain you overmuch.
Oh, we could not talk about your mother. That works for me.
Speaking of talking, let's talk to Fayed. Bounces around barking excitedly. Do you see anything interesting? 100-year-old dust still clings to it. Good job.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
How did you become a shapeshifter?
I was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemeth's, taught over many years in the wilds. The chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures to watch them from hiding. When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend.
Your mother's been doing this for a long time then?
Changing her form, certainly. Devouring lost children? I cannot say. She has not done it in my experience, though in truth my lifespan is but a fraction of her own. Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know?
Can you change into other human forms as well?
The form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think as it does. In time, this allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. So the answer is no, my human form is the only one I possess.
Can anyone become a shapeshifter?
Anyone with sufficient will. But the act of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell and thus requires a mage's talents. If you had a notion to learn such a skill for yourself, sadly, you must remain disappointed.
You spend a lot of time as an animal.
There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true. You look upon the world around you and you think you know it well. I have smelled it as a wolf, listened as a cat, proud shadows that you never dreamed existed. But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary.
And what do other animals think of you when you're changed?
They do not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other of their species. As to what they think, I truly cannot say. Just as I am still human, no matter my form, they are still animals. Thus they cannot speak, even were I to ask.
There have been Daedalus keepers who use similar magic.
Oh? Then I have no doubt your people do much to keep their talents well hidden from humans. I wonder if I was to ask one of your keepers of the origin of their magics, if there would be any relation to what I was taught.
We don't know much about our origins, I'm afraid.
Ah, this makes sense according to what I know of the elves. Alas.
That's all I wanted to ask.
Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch?
I think your abilities... that just sounds like you make you angry, I think.
No doubt it would. But enough of such talk. Let us proceed, lest the dust gather on us. What do you wish of me?
I'd ask you
If
something.
you must.
Did you grow up in the Kakori Wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
You could if you wanted to.
Oh, what luck. What is it you asked? If I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? Many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time, I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
And you remained unnoticed?
For the most part. Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Very daring. Sounds like you.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped, and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
That was quick thinking.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
I have no idea. I'm not human.
Do not speak to me of trivialities. Your culture is not so entirely different. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
You can go back if you like.
I have no qualm with the mission I have been set to. Flemeth was correct, like it or not. The Darkspawn are an enemy of all. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Hey,
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
You really had no trouble with
I
them?
am unsure. I was too young to understand, and perhaps 'twas bravado on Flemeth's part, or perhaps she was merely amused. I will never know. Flemeth would warn them, once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their
I fucked
doom.
up. Flemeth used you as
It
bait?
was a game, and I, a young girl. If I didn't get to play, I would have been very upset. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
What exactly is an apostate?
You do not know? The zealots use
Well,
that
no, I'm
word
an elf.
for
I've lived
any
in the
magic
Dalish
they do not
culture my entire
control.
life.
The Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the circle of magi as apostates, and apostates could become maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true. Still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
Meaning what? We'll fight you to the end?
I will note that we only ever defended ourselves. But if they wish to come for us, certainly.
Fair.
Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Aw, disapproval. Rip. What am I at right now? Oh, 14. Okay.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Is Flemeth really what she seems to be?
Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be?
A powerful Maleficara.
You mean, is she truly the Flemeth of legend and story? Tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
I'm interested in the truth.
I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire.
That sounds interesting.
As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful, a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her.
Just how long ago is this?
Many centuries, before this land was even named Ferelden. The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conabar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conabar the jealous lord who looked on from afar. Lord Conabar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife, and Osen agreed.
He sold his wife to another
The
man?
life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement.
Oh,
All would have been well had Lord Conabar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
because you truly love Osen then.
That was not the point. Conabar had no honor, so she would not have him. Flemeth begged the spirits to aid her, and 'twas they who slew Conabar. The demon the legend tells of came later. Lord Conobar's allies chased Flemeth, you see. Chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies.
Of course Flemeth would say that. Wait, which? She was never invaded, or he never defeated her?
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero. Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
How is it that Flemeth has survived so long?
The demon within her has transformed her into something else. An abomination, perhaps some would say. I know not. I only know my mother is clever, and she is part of the wilds as it is part of her. But she is no immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other, were it lucky enough to find her.
Legends tell Flemeth having many daughters.
You ask if I have sisters. I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds after all, not just the one. And these tales existed long before I did. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed. So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too.
Why would you refuse to speak of them?
The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and her daughters. They say that one day she hunted them all through the wilds and ate their hearts. It may be true. I have never seen another witch or heard of one. Perhaps one day Flemeth will eat my heart as well.
Do you believe her version?
I do not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Oft it seems her bitterness has colored her memories. But on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all.
Aren't abominations usually insane whores?
How often is this usually? Always? If not always, then when is it not true? There are more things in this world and the next than you or I could ever hope to understand. What Flemeth became is a mystery. I suspect, even to her.
Interesting story, thank you.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless.
Mother died a long time ago.
Ah, then you have my sympathies for what it is worth. Which is very little, I am certain. It matters not. Let us move on.
Hey, approval for that. Basically, when it comes to approval, you just want to kind of play to their egos.
I wonder if that creature they locked up on the highway is involved with it.
I mean, so much playing to their egos. It's just kind of a thing of, like, you know what each of these characters likes, and it's just kind of, like, being agreeable to them, you know? I need to find the merchant. I'm way too encumbered and shit.
Need something? I don't generally talk to strange elves who wander in here.
I don't wander anywhere, thank you.
You still look like trouble. We got plenty of that with the war now.
I can make trouble for you, human. Is that what you want?
No. Beg pardon and all. I should mind my manners.
Much better. Now I'll go.
Don't let me stop you.
Where's this piece of shit?
Hey, what's on now?
I have some questions.
Can't promise I'm gonna answer them.
What's going on here?
What isn't? We got chastened barbarians in every farmholder south of Callanhard running from the Darkspawn. Not that they'll be safe here with the army gone.
Who charges the village?
You could talk to the Elder, though she's got her hands full getting everyone on their way. For now, most folks go to Sir Bryant. He's head of the Chantry's Templars.
You don't have a ruling lord?
He's gone to war and taken all his soldiers, leaving us to fend for ourselves. There's not going to be much left when he returns, if he returns.
Were those banners always outside the village?
What? You mean they're gone?
Yes, I drove them off.
Well, goody for you. Now there's no one to drive off the blighted refugees. Sir Brian's will be glad, though. He's been talking about offering a reward for anyone who'd run them out.
I should go.
Don't let me stop you.
You really thought those bandits would stop? No, you idiot. Anyway.
You there. If you're looking for safe shelter,
There we
It's
go.
just a guess, but I'm thinking everyone in Lothering is aware of the approaching Darkspawn horde.
Back off. I have the right to charge what I wish.
You profit from their misfortune. I should have the Templars give away everything in your carts.
You wouldn't dare. Any of you step too close to my goods and I'll...
It's so nice to see everyone working together in a crisis. Warms the heart.
Oh, you there. You look able. Would you care to make a tiny profit helping a beleaguered businessman?
Is profiteering ruffling some feathers?
You could say that, yes.
The nerve of these people!
He is charging outlandish prices for things people desperately need. Their blood is filling his pockets.
'Tis only survival of the fittest. All of these cretins would do the same in his shoes, given the chance.
Probably.
I have limited supplies. The people decide what those supplies are worth to them.
You bought most of your wares from these very people last week. Now they flee for their lives, and you want to talk business?
Look, stranger, I've 100 silvers if you drive this rabble off, starting with that priest. I'm an honest merchant, nothing more.
Don't you think that you're being unscrupulous?
Would it help these folks if they could buy no goods at all?
They spend their very last coin because they are desperate, and this man preys upon them as surely as the bandits outside the city.
Ah, I'm not arguing anymore. Drive off this woman and get your 100 silvers. Otherwise, I'm taking my wagon and leaving.
I think you can compromise and still make a profit, no?
Perhaps. If that woman agrees I'm allowed to charge something.
Do what you must, so long as the prices do not beggar the needy.
Fine, fine, done. And since you don't look too needy, normal prices for you.
So, we have come to solve every squabble in the village personally. My, but the Darkspawn will be impressed.
Thank you for your generous assistance. May the Maker watch over your path.
Now notice, I got disapproval for that. Because Morgan doesn't like it when I just kind of help random people for no good reason. Because it's like, we got shit to do. Why are we helping these random fucking peasants? Which makes sense, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, it won't cost too much to help. Okay, so I'm good on land, right? There's nothing, any gear I can actually get as an upgrade. 6.7. No. That's worse. Worse. Okay. And Surveyor. Willpower upgrade? Sure. Okay, next we have Alistar, whose weapon currently deals 7.7. Ooh. Yeah, this is just better. Okay, let's check your armors. Okay, that's all to be sold. Next. How about weapon? Worse than current. And armor. Okay. Yeah, everything else can be sold.
Don't suppose you're looking to buy something.
I am indeed. Let me see what you have.
All right. Just don't buy everything up.
You're right. I won't buy everything up. I'll also sell a shit ton to you. Gotta get to that 15 gold, man. I'm probably gonna keep one bow for myself. Oh, that's higher. Sell this. Keep these. Just trust me on that. Honestly, I probably shouldn't sell this because I'm about to get 2 new characters. But, whatever. I'll get more gear for them as the game goes on. Kind of tempted to sell that, if I'm being honest. I'm not selling my heirloom necklace. Fuck that. I don't use these. So sell these. I do use those. I will use that later. That's fine. I don't use these. I know myself. Keep those. Just trust me on that. Gift, gifts, gifts. These are literally only useful for selling. I don't plan to ever make traps. We'll keep the lifestone, keep the deep mushroom. Hey, alright then. That is what I want to see.
I brought my family to Lothering because I thought it would be safe.
You were wrong.
I'll get on it.
As if we needed more fighting here. Don't you see how scared everyone is?
What happened to the king is so terrible. Is anywhere
Why do you guys
safe
sleep like
now?
that?
I hear those bandits are back again. Why don't the Templars kill them?
I've already done
We were
that.
lucky. We had the coin to pay the toll to those bandits. Many didn't.
I go around to get to there. Right? Oh no, I can get through here.
Please, we came here to get away from the
There
fighting.
isn't enough food. Even the Chantry is preparing to leave.
As if we needed
Where
more
are we supposed to
fighting
go?
here. Don't you see how scared everyone is?
Shut up.
Mother says we have to run before the bad men get here.
As if we needed more fighting here.
Move on if
Don't
you
see
can.
how scared everyone
Lothering's
is?
lost.
We're looking for some news,
You
actually.
might find that, though it's probably just frightened gossip. We've had refugees streaming from the south for the last 2 days. The Chantry and Tavern are full to bursting. There simply isn't enough food to go around, and we Templars can barely keep order. You'd be better off elsewhere, my friend.
Are you keeping me from going in?
Just warning you, things may not be as hospitable as you would expect. People are frightened.
Is there anyone in
The
charge
Baron
here?
has marched north with Tern Logain, so Lothering's on its own. Most folks look to Elder Miriam. Otherwise, you could speak to Sir Bryant in the Chantry, I suppose. It's up to you.
Okay. Thanks for the info. Don't mind me, just kind of going through your shit. Hope you don't mind.
Ah, the
And Eileen spoke unto the masses, My hearth is yours, my bread is yours, my life is yours. For all who walk in the sight of the Maker are one.
Greetings? You don't talk much, do you?
Let all repeat the chant of light. Only the word dispels the darkness upon us.
He can't answer you. He's Chanter Devons.
What's Chanter?
One of them that can only say the chant of light. His board has letters of good deeds to be doing. My father fixed Widow Allison's roof once, and the charter paid him, he did.
A learned child is a blessing upon his parents and onto the Maker.
So I wanted to thatch a roof. I talked to him.
There's all sorts of things on his board. Even traveling sellswords sometimes turn in postings.
So really can't speak at all.
Unless it's the chant of light, no.
And so Rajmael in the heathen temple recanted. Speak only the word, sing only the chant, then the golden city is thine, spoke Andraste.
Chanter says what?
What?
Oh, you got him to speak. Ha!
What hath man's sin wrought?
Oh, he cheated.
Anything you should on the board?
Blessed are the peacekeepers, champions of the just.
He cheated. He straight up cheated. Cool. So yeah, there's a little bouncy board in certain areas that you can just say, hey, do this thing. You'll be, you know.
The legions of evil are on your doorstep. They will feast upon our hearts. There is nowhere to run. This evil will cover the world like a plague of locusts.
Please, you're scaring the children.
Better to slit their throats now than let them suffer at Darkspawn hands. There! One of their minions is already amongst us! This woman bears their evil stench! Can you not see the vile blackness that fills her?
Why don't you keep your voice down?
I watch the Black Horde descend on my people! I will not be silent!
Please, stop! Somebody shut his mouth!
But isn't he right? The ban left us. We're going to die.
This minion is but the first of those who will destroy us!
You poor man, what happened to you?
My family, my clan, those creatures butchered them all. Some of us fled here, but we cannot escape the Darkspawn!
How did you escape?
I ran, hearing my wife's screams as they dragged her off. She had hair the same color as yours.
Scary people won't get her back.
You were right. I will go.
He was right, wasn't he? There's no hope for us.
There's always hope. What's
You're
your
right.
courage?
We can't give up.
But we can't fight. What are we supposed to do?
We can't lie down and die either. We must go north to Denerim.
Your king is dead!
That bug is still there, are you joking me?
Maybe with that blasted chasing gone, my head...
Oh my god, all these fucking years later, and that bug is still fucking there. Hello.
If you seek refuge in the Chantry, there's simply no room left.
You're closed?
We turn none aside, but we simply don't have room for anyone to sleep. Priests are within if you seek to offer devotion to the Maker, however. May he protect us all.
Who's in charge of the Chantry?
The revered mother runs the Chantry itself, and Sir Bryant heads the Templars stationed here.
Did you know where there were bandits on the highway?
Were? Did you drive them off? Well, Sir Bryant will appreciate that.
Have you heard any news?
Not since Tairn Loghain passed by with his army. It's a shame about the king. But with the Darkspawn coming, few can think of anything else.
Goodbye.
Maker watch over you.
Uh-huh. Should I tell people that I don't believe in their god? No? Okay.
There's word of Darkspawn stragglers.
Are you here to see the Reverend Mother too?
The who?
The head of this chantry. She's very busy, but I think she's free now. I came to ask for a blessing. With my family abandoning the farm to flee north, we'll need all the grace the Maker can offer. Well, good luck to you. I need to get underway. If I'm lucky, I'll make it back to the farmhold by nightfall.
Good luck.
We are the only hope of protection this village has now, and I will not abandon it. That is all.
We came here to get away from the fighting.
Book. The First Blight, Chapter 1. Hello.
Yes, my lady? Who might you be?
I'm Grey Warden Lina.
I see. I am Sir Bryant, commander of the Lothering Templars. Tairn Loghain declared all Grey Wardens traitors responsible for the king's death. You know this, I hope.
The Grey Wardens did no such thing.
I don't believe the Grey Wardens would be as careless or malicious as the Tairn claims. But either way, there it is. It is best you not linger, though. Just in case.
Are you in charge here?
The revered mother leads this flock. I merely command her Templars. Normally, our role is to protect the Chantry and seek
Okay,
out
look, I
unsanctioned
actually like all
magic.
the story going on here.
For
I
now,
like story and
it is all we
narrative-based
can do to
games.
protect the
As
innocent.
someone who grew up with turn-based RPGs, I don't mind like the slow goings of like learning about the society of everything. If that's just how games that's just how BioWare games are, man. Can't have action all the time. And if you found an unsanctioned mage,
Let us pretend that I was such a mage. What would you do to me?
I have no time to even think about such things right now. My concern is protecting these people. I see nothing threatening them other than the Darkspawn.
How do Templars fight against
We
magic?
have more than swords at our disposal. We're taught to dispel unholy magics as well. If only our powers work to keep away the Darkspawn. Alas, it is not so.
Where would I find the Revered?
In her study, no doubt. Preparing what she will take when we eventually evacuate.
Are you the only protecting this mission
Our
has?
ban was summoned by Tearn Loghain, and he took his soldiers north with him. Lothering has been abandoned.
Tell me something
If
else.
the matter is important, certainly.
Have you heard any recent news?
Other than the Darkspawn horde bearing down on us, none of it is good. Tearn Loghain is set to declare himself king, I hear. Disaster piled on disaster.
King Kaelin had no heir?
None that we know of. Tearn Loghain has no legitimate claim on the throne. He may be a hero, and his daughter may be queen, but he is a commoner, and the king's corpse is barely cold. If Arl Eamon was able to intervene, perhaps it would not have gone this far. I do not care who takes the throne. Only fools fight over who owns a cottage while it burns down around them.
What's wrong with Earl Eamon?
Arl Eamon has fallen ill, and his knights are on a quest for the sacred urn filled with Andraste's ashes, said to cure any malady. He must be very ill if they chase miracles as the only cure. One of the Arl's knights, Sir Donnell, is here searching for fantasies while... Never mind. Ask him if you care about this foolishness.
Things seem very dire in the
They
village.
are. With the ban having taken his men north, the village is left to its fate. We will evacuate as many as we can before the horde reaches us. I will stay as long as I am needed. Now, unless there's something else you need.
Is there any other help you can offer?
I cannot openly help you, I fear, but... Here, take this key. It opens the large cabinet on the far wall. There is more there than we can carry when we evacuate, so take what you need.
About the bandages outside the village.
Maker's breath, how many times must we drive them off?
They won't be bothering you again. I killed them.
All of them? By yourself?
It's true. I saw it from my post. It was over so fast, we didn't even have time to get over there.
Sad that it needed to come to that. But then they asked for it. Will you accept a small reward for your service?
I keep an eye out for Trevor for the right pay.
I wish I could afford such help, to be truthful. Take your reward, at any rate. It is all I have to offer. If it interests you, there is a Chanters board outside full of quests that need doing. The Chanters even offer pay for some of them. Now, unless there's something else you need.
I need some information.
If the matter is important, certainly.
Have you heard any other
Only
news?
if you are interested in the business of mages.
I am, tell me.
I have heard word that the Templars who watch over the Circle of Magi's tower have called for the rite of annulment. Hopefully I've heard wrong.
Why? What's the right of annulment?
If the rite of annulment is invoked, the tower and every living soul within will be destroyed.
We need the Circle's help. We should go and find out what's happening.
To have such a call when mages are needed to fight the Darkspawn, something terrible must have happened. I have nothing else to tell you. The only news I care about is the approaching horde.
I should go.
Travel safely, and may the Maker watch over you.
You, miss, what is your name? You seem quite odd to me.
You would not be the first to think so. But avert your eyes. I will not have you staring over long.
Best get used to it. I'll be watching you. We want no trouble here. Please do not cause a disturbance. Matters are delicate enough.
Hello, Sir Donald.
Who? I beg your pardon. I did not see you approach.
Sir Donald? Is that you?
Alistair? By the Maker, how are you? I was certain you were dead.
Very nearly, Sir Donald. May I introduce my fellow Grey Warden?
Hi.
We are the last two in Ferelden, as far as I know.
Terrible news indeed. Pleased to meet you, my lady. Might I know your name?
You may call me. I am Lana. It is a pleasure to meet you.
I trust you are staying discreet, with the bounty placed on your heads.
We've heard Loghain's accusations, but he's the one who betrayed the king.
If Arl Eamon were well, he'd set Loghain straight soon enough.
So you're here looking for the Urn of Sacred Ashes, then?
I am indeed. Andraste's ashes are said to cure any illness, but I fear we are chasing a fable. With each day, my hope dims.
Shouldn't you be fleeing the dark?
My mission takes priority, but I fear I shall be returning to Redcliffe with nothing to show for my efforts.
I was hoping to meet Earl Eamon.
Why is that, if I may ask?
We need his help against Terran Logain.
I see. The Arl is a popular man, it's true. Terran Logain, however, is a hero throughout Ferelden. Whatever the Terran has done or not done, the Arl remains ill, or worse. That is my primary concern.
Is there any point to going to Redcliffe?
He may be dead already. Or perhaps his luck has changed in the weeks I have been gone.
We should see what's happening at Redcliffe ourselves. I believe that now more than ever.
If nothing else, I am certain you would be welcomed at Castle Redcliffe. The Arlessa is there, and she could tell you more than I could.
So your quest for the ashes brought you here?
I expected to take advantage of the Chantry's library, in fact. But my skills are better suited to battle than chasing down tales.
Tell me more about this urn of sacred ashes.
Supposedly, the urn contains the ashes of the prophetess Andraste. Surely you know all this.
You guys don't learn about much about your religion.
If you're truly interested, there are books here containing a great deal of lore. Nothing I have found leads me to believe that this was anything more than a quest of desperation. I intend to return to Redcliffe soon and tell the Arlessa exactly that, once Sir Henrik arrives.
To send Henrik?
My fellow knight and traveling companion. He is delayed, though.
Your friend Sir Henrik's dead. I have something from him.
What? And you have his locket? And a note? Maker's mercy. Thank you for giving me these. I would never have known otherwise.
I'm sorry about your friend.
Thank you. I wonder how many of us have met similar fates on this mad quest.
I should go.
With Henrik gone, I need to return to Redcliffe. Perhaps later I will seek out the scholar his note mentions. But I must go. Thank you again, my lady. You have been most helpful.
And when the Maker spoke, a chant of light scattered in the
Do you ever
darkness.
wonder if that's an accurate likeness of Andraste? Maybe she was ugly. Maybe she had buck teeth.
Let those who seek redemption be delivered.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Private documents. Let's see, 22 strength for this.
When the
Oh,
chant
wow, so I
spreads
got new boots for you.
across all four corners of the world, let it rise at last to the ears of the Maker. Let him hear our unwavering faith.
I'm sorry, but I must prepare the Chantry's
I'll get
vestments
on it.
before we flee. There is very little time.
Got it.
Bronze symbol of Andraste. I will explain the gifts a little more when I get back to
Black
camp.
City in heaven, and then
So
shall
basically,
the
you're supposed to
chant
like
of light
figure out
make it
what people
pure.
want based off the kind of character they are, and like the items themselves.
Will you be making a donation to the Chantry, my friend? You look like you have salvaged more of value than most who make it here.
Who are you?
I am the revered mother of this Chantry. Traditionally, those who seek my blessing tithe first.
What tithe acceptable?
Might I suggest 30 silver?
Here, 30 silver
Thank
it
you,
is.
dear woman. What can I do for you then?
I'm a Grey Warden. I need your help.
A Grey Warden? Here? Oh dear. You put me in a difficult position. You must know that Terran Logain declared the Grey Wardens to be outlaws.
So I've heard, but it was Logain who betrayed the
Terran
king.
Logain? That is as hard for me to believe as his condemnation of the Wardens. There is a price on your head. Lay low, and I promise to keep your presence a secret. That is the best I can do. Now, if there is nothing else,
Can you provide any help to the Grey Wardens at all?
I cannot help you without risking the safety of this village and Chantry. The best I can do is keep your presence a secret. I am sorry. Now, if there is nothing else,
I was hoping to receive your
for a
blessing.
Grey Warden. In Andraste's name, I call upon the Maker to watch over his child and creation. Watch over her path, O Maker. Give her light in darkness.
Did my dog
So
bow?
let it be. Now, if there is nothing
I
else,
should go.
may the
Didn't even get a buff. Useless. Anyway.
Out from the shadows. Come.
I'm scared. When are we going home?
Greetings to you, milady. If it isn't too much to ask, might you be able to spare some bread?
What happened to you?
We thought it would be safer in Lothering, that the Terran would bring his soldiers here. But bandits attacked us and took everything. Our food, our clothes, my daughter's pet lamb. Nobody cares about a few elves like us. Surely you understand.
I met those bandits. They're dead now.
You killed them?
That's wonderful news. Perhaps our belongings are still there.
I can't thank you enough, friend. Even if we don't get everything back, it's good to know others will be safe.
Oh wait, I was gonna give you silver. Oh, okay, bye. I was gonna give him silver. Kind of walked away before I got to say anything. Oh well.
Got it.
Golden Scythe, 40 black. The battlefield spirits.
Mother, where are you?
Frozen lightning.
Now's better than later.
Have you seen my mother?
That depends. Who is your mother?
She's really tall, and she has red hair. We live on a big farmhold, all of us. Some mean men with swords came, and Mother told me to run to the village as fast as I could, so I did. She said she'd be right behind me, but I've been waiting and waiting, and I can't see her.
You know where your father is?
He went with William to the neighbours yesterday, but he didn't come back.
Well, come with me. I'll help you look for your mother.
Mother said I wasn't to go with anyone. I'm supposed to wait for her here, in the village.
Go to the Chantry Child. Someone will look after you.
I will, but only if I don't find Mother first. So, are you really an elf?
Yes, why do you ask?
Father says elves aren't very nice, but you're nicer than everybody here. Thank you for helping me.
I can't blame the child for his racism. I can't blame the child for his racism.
Stop looking at me,
Can't
mongrel.
blame the child
I have
for his
nothing you
racism.
want.
Where can we go? This is
Why
no
do you keep
better than
staring
what
at
we
me
left.
so, you flea-ridden beast? Can you not tell when you are not wanted? I enjoy company of creatures of the wild, not stench-ridden domesticated wolves. And he persists. Maddening!
Oh, so he's enjoying doing this.
Master Feleron runs us miners hard. Harder
We
still
came
since
here to
Ostagar.
get away from the fighting.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Greetings, milady. Greetings, milady. Greetings, milady.
You might not want to go in. Tavern's full, and those soldiers are being a nuisance.
Why is the tavern full?
Same reason the Chantry's full, packed with people who fled their homes. The tavern keeper's letting folks sleep on the floors, but he can only fit so many. And those soldiers are getting restless.
Tell me about these
They're
soldiers.
not here to defend us. They were looking for someone before they started drinking. I hear they almost killed a man because they didn't like his face. I wonder if they're deserters from the King's army.
You seem unhappy.
Is there any reason to be happy? With the King dead, them Darkspawn will overrun Lothering before anyone can organize. You'd think those soldiers could at least run off the bandits. I hear someone gave them what they deserved. Wasn't you, was it?
Yes, it was me.
It was? Hey, everyone! This is the one who drove out those thieving bastards! More will probably come, but it's good to know some justice is left here. Thank you.
Best be careful.
No problem.
Darkspawn are
I
coming.
thought there would be soldiers here, or at least a place to hide.
Let's head into this tavern then.
Well, look what we have here then. I think we've just been blessed.
Uh-oh. Loghain's men. This can't be good.
Didn't we spend all morning asking about an elf by this very description? And everyone said they hadn't seen
Guess which one of these NPCs is important, by the way?
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for trouble.
These are no doubt simply more poor souls seeking refuge.
They're more than that. Now stay out of our way, sister. You protect these traitors, you'll get the same as them.
Let's talk about this before things get out of hand.
I doubt he would listen. He blindly follows his master's commands.
I am not the blind one. I served at Ostagar, where the Tern saved us from the Grey Warden's treachery. I serve him gladly. Enough talk. Take the Warden into custody. Kill the sister and anyone else that gets in your way.
Right. Let's make this quick.
Yeah, that's not happening. There we go.
Right, you've won. We surrender.
Good. They've learned their lesson and we can all stop fighting now.
Take a message to Logain.
What do you want to tell him?
The Grey Aeronodans will know what really happens.
I'll tell him. Right away. Now. Thank you.
I apologize for interfering, but I couldn't just sit by and not help.
And who are you, anyhow?
Let me introduce myself. I am Liliana, one of the lay sisters of the Chantry here in Lothering. Oh, I was.
And there's something you wanted from me?
Those men said you're a Grey Warden. You will be battling the Darkspawn, yes? That is what Grey Wardens do. I know after what happened, you will need all the help you can get. That's why I'm coming along.
And why are you here to come with me?
The Maker told me to.
The Maker's on my side? Can you elaborate?
I know that sounds absolutely insane, but it's true. I had a dream. A vision.
More crazy? I thought we were all full up.
Also, you can't
Look at the people here. They are lost in their despair, and this darkness, this chaos, will spread. The Maker doesn't want this. What you do, what you are meant to do, is the Maker's work. Let me help.
I need more than prayers, I'm
I
afraid.
can fight. I can do more than fight. As I said, I was not always a lay sister. I put aside that life when I came here. But now, if it is the Maker's will, I will take it up again. Gladly. Please let me help you.
Long-running spoilers to what she is. She was an assassin. Straight up. She was literally that assassin, like, confidant kind of like person before she became a sister. Literally did all these crimes and shit, had to go on the lam and run away from the crime life, and then she came here and became a sister. If you've seen anime, you know, or hell, you've seen most action shows, you've seen this plotline. She's that plotline. You feel sorry for the people, help them here.
Then what? What happens when the Hold comes? It will follow anywhere we flee until all we know is destroyed.
Oh, stop the... I suppose we're stronger when we stand together.
Perhaps your skull was cracked worse than Mother thought.
Thank you. I appreciate being given this chance. I will not let you down.
And now that we have more than 4 people, we can now select a party comp. Sorry, Fiat. I love you and all, but I think it's better to have, like, actual units. She's a rogue, much like me. I'm gonna have her sets. And I'm gonna have her set to be a... Oh, she actually comes with archery stuff? Damn. Because I want her to be dual wielding. Anyway, Yeah, I'm gonna have her be a dual wielding. Oh, right. I should have sold all my shit. I forgot I was getting this part
Awaiting
member.
orders.
Well, actually, I didn't forget. I knew I'd be getting her soon. That's on me. Just being stupid. Hello.
I'll not have any elves tracking Dirtian. Out.
Fuck you, bitch. That's I'm gonna rob all your shit.
Who are you? Can you protect us?
I suppose I could. But first, I need to rob all your shit.
You're gonna make more trouble? We've about all we can stand in Lothering now.
Sorry about the mess.
They had it coming, and they were trouble enough themselves. So long as you don't start more, I won't get excited. Right then, name's Denal. Sorry I can't chat much. As you see, we've a full house.
I suppose you have any rooms.
Look around. People are sleeping on the floors and in the attic. That's how many rooms I don't have.
Have you heard any rumors?
I've heard a lot of stories of bands of Darkspawn roaming the countryside far north of the Kokori Wilds. They just seem to appear out of nowhere and disappear just as fast. Anything else I can get you?
Have you heard any other rumors?
I hear news from Dinnerham that Tyrn Logain has been declared the new regent. It makes sense, his daughter being the queen. Anything else I can get you?
Heard any other
I hear
rumors?
tell they held a funeral in Dinnerham for King Kill. The Grand Cleric called for a full day of mourning, and there was a procession a mile long passing by the brass head. It's too bad they don't have a body to properly burn. What happened to him at the hands of those creatures, it's unthinkable. Anything else I can get you?
Who are those men I
When Tyrn Logain marched by, he left those fellas behind to look for Grey Wardens. I suppose that's you.
Yes, it is.
I have no qualm with you, whatever the Tyrn says. My grandfather served. Your secret's safe with me. What can I get you then?
I'll be going.
Luck speed your way.
Thank you.
I don't want any trouble, please.
You're here about food. Take it up with that bleeding runt by the chantry. I got other gear to sell.
Know any well-paying
Check the
work?
chanter's board by the chantry. There's good jobs there. I don't suppose you know anything about poison?
I dabbled in such things.
I figured if I kept asking, I'd find someone. I'd pay good coin for some simple poison. Something to slow them beasties down or make them think twice.
Now we're gonna find
There's
ingredients.
herbs in the North Wood. As for other stuff, look around town. Some refugees just left things behind to travel faster. I don't really know what you need, though. I might have some in stock, too.
Show me what you got. You literally have all the tools for poison. Including flask. Okay. Poisonous proposition. Got a bard here.
Please, I must continue playing, else I earn no coin tonight.
Backstone liaison.
As I live and breathe, you're the Grey Warden everyone's been talking about.
Something I can do for you?
I represent the Blackstone Irregulars. We're a mercenary company that fell on hard times after the war with Orlais. I'm sure you know that times are getting worse every day. With your help, the Irregulars could be of use to Ferelden once more.
How can I be of service?
Our leaders thought you might be willing to help. Each of our posts in Ferelden will contain letters addressed to you. Unlike most who work with us, you're getting letters straight from Raelnor and Tauran, our leaders. I hope this tells you how highly the Irregulars regard the Grey Wardens.
I'll take a look.
Thank you. When you've completed a mission, just return to me or any
So
of
this is
our
just
members
another option to
stationed
do
at
more
an
side
irregular
quests, which is
post.
always good.
We'll make
The
sure
more
your
XP,
efforts
the
are
better,
rewarded.
obviously.
Maker's blessings light your path.
Thank you. Stripping the barrel. Alright.
Did you speak to that knight yesterday? Said he was from Red.
The blight has truly come, and the king is dead.
I'm scared.
We're all
When are we
going
going
blight
home?
has
I
truly
have a
come, and
wonder,
the king is
Alistair,
dead.
if you will indulge
We're all going
me.
to die.
Do I have a choice?
Of the two of you that remain, are you not the senior Grey Warden here? I find it curious that you allow another to lead while you follow.
You find that curious, do you?
In fact, you defer to a new recruit. Is this the policy of the Grey Wardens, or simply a personal one?
What do you want to hear? That I prefer to follow? I do.
You sound so very defensive.
Couldn't you crawl into a bush somewhere and die? That would be great, thanks.
I think funnily enough, I think Liliana and Morgana have one of the best team banters in the game. But that's just my opinion. Filled greenstone sack. Thank you. All right. So I think for right now we reached a pretty decent place to stop. So we're effectively finding a place. What happens when the Darkspawn come rolling in? Shit gets fucked. And we have the option of leaving right now. But if we do, we miss out on... If we would have left right now, like the moment we got in, we actually would have missed out on not just a lot of quest lines, which leads to more XP, and items, but we'd have actually lost 2 characters. We're going to meet another one here in a bit, but we also would have clearly lost out on Liliana. Either way, I want everyone out there to have a good morning, evening, day, or night wherever you're at. But for right now, I'm out. Later. That said, for the people who are watching on... Oh, actually, no.